ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, chapter number 8, verse number 31. The story of Dhruva Maharaj, how he was insulted by his stepmother, and then his mother Suniti advised him to worship the Lord because Dhruva wanted a post higher than anyone else. So she said that only Lord Krishna can fulfill your desire if you worship him. And he took this advice very seriously, and therefore he left home. Why he left home? He could have also worshipped. He was not thrown out of the palace. Could have stayed at the palace, had a nice breakfast. Right? So why did he leave? Why did he go into the uncomfortable situation? To worship you need also some facility. So why did he go to the forest? So he thought that if he stays there, he may be disturbed by the stepmother. After all, she may become more jealous that this guy probably is going to throw us out one day. Or the father may create disturbance because father was also under the control of stepmother. So for that reason he decided that it is better to go away from here and give full attention without any possibility of anybody causing any disturbance. And usually in India, people think that if you want to take to spiritual life, then forest is the best place. Because
Fewer liars there.
If you live in the city or in the town and you have to deal with human beings, and they will create some disturbance.
But pay charge. No problem.
Yes, you want to also pay electric bill. So therefore he decided that he will go to the forest in the peaceful atmosphere. Forest is supposed to be Vanam tu Satvikam Vas. The residence in forest is considered as Satvik. And in the village it is considered as Rajasic. And Dyut Saganam tu Tamas. To live in a gambling house, that is tamas, bar, drinking place. So that is tamasic. So sattva is conducive for spiritual life, therefore he went to forest. And he met Sri Narada by the grace of the Lord. If one is sincere, then God helps the sincere person. As Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadyanta tam pate bhajamyam. When we are not sincere, then we also get such advice that we remain in our own nature. So since he was very sincere, he got the darshan of Narada, and this was his very good fortune. So first Narada, he tried to sound him. Like if you buy a mud pot, you have to test. It is called sound test. Whether it is proper or there is any crack in it. If the pot is not good, then it will not hold the water. So student is also considered like a pot. In Sanskrit, pot is called patra. So you have to see that the student is a good patra, which is called supatra, so that he can hold the instruction. If the student is not good patra, then he gives instruction, it goes and it leaks out, does not stay inside. So therefore testing is done by the teacher to see that student is good. These days it is difficult to get students, so no testing. Just take whatever comes. Otherwise you sit alone. You better close your shop. So whoever comes, you speak. So Narada is testing. Therefore he was advising him that if you go to forest, then it's difficult, and first of all worshipping God is very difficult. He says, Duraradhyo mato mama. He says, according to me, it's very, very tough to please Lord. So he says, Muniyaha padavim yasya nisangena urujanmabhihi na vidur mrigyantopi tibra yoga samadhina. He says that even great sages, they have tried to attain the Lord, and they have taken many births, urujanmi, not 1, 2, 3, still they are not successful. So Tibra Yoga Samadhi, by intense yoga, sitting in Samadhi, they are unable to have the darshan of the Lord. Mrigyanto, they are still searching. So why are you endeavoring for such a difficult task, which even sages are unable to achieve? So therefore he says, Ato nivartatameva esha nirbandhastav nishphala yatisyati bhavan kale shreyasam samupastute. He says, therefore you should avoid going, you give up your determination, nirbandha. And why? Because this will be fruitless. You will not be successful in this if these great sages have not been successful. And when you later on are grown up, then you can again try for it. This is not a child's job. This is not something to be taken up by a young child like you. If the sages, munis, rishis, they are unable to attain success on this path, then how can you, just a mere child? So one should also think of one's own qualification before taking some enterprise, some endeavor, whether I am really qualified. Otherwise later on one may have to feel frustrated, not being successful. So therefore I say that you are really not qualified for this. Never tatam nirbandhastam nisfala. Because why? Because your this determination is not going to be successful. So this is the advice is given. When you grow up, when you become advanced in age, then you can come and try. Yasya daiva vihitam satena sukha dukkhayoho atmanam toshiyam dehi tam sahaparam vicchati. It says whatever is ordained by the fate, happiness or distress, and that comes to a person. No one can avoid that. So he said, therefore one should remain satisfied under all circumstances, and this way one can become free from the material bondage. So, of course, Dhruva's intention was not becoming free from material bondage. He wanted a position higher than, at least higher than his father, to show. When you are angry at somebody, then you want to prove you are better than that person. So you want to achieve a position higher than that person. In the material world, people become successful because of the competitive mentality. In the spiritual world, success comes in cooperation. And in the material world, you want to compete. You have to show to your neighbor you are better, so you work harder. This is the inspiration in the material world, competitive mind. And in the spiritual world, just cooperating with devotees, serving the Lord. That is the inspiration. There is no competition there. So he is not interested in getting rid of material bondage or anything. He does not even know this. He just fixed that he wants to be better than his father. And he has understood that this he can attain by the grace of Lord Vishnu. So naturally this advice of Narada is not appealing to him. So Sri Vishnu says that Sukh Dukhyor Madhye Tena Sukhena Dukhena Vatoshim Sukhe Sati Punyam Shriyate Dukhe Sati Papam Shriyate Iti Buddhi. So he says that one should remain satisfied both in happiness and distress. How is that? He says, when one is happy, then one should think that my punya is giving me the result, my pious activity. And when it is some miserable condition, then one should think that I am getting rid of my bad karma. So this way one remains satisfied, and then one becomes free from the samsara. So dehi tamsa param vicchati. Gunadikan mudam lipsed anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadam vicchen tapairam bhuyate. Then he gives a very nice formula how to remain in the world not being disturbed by others. So he says that those who are superior to you, then you become happy. and desire to be like that. And if somebody is lower than you, then you be gracious towards that person. If someone is equal to you, then try to be friendly with him. So this way you remain free from this competitive mentality, and then you suffer. So he says this type of behavior will make you free from disturbances. Otherwise, if we see somebody superior to us, then we are envious, we are full of jealousy. If someone is inferior to us, we become proud and we insult. And somebody is equal to us, then we compete. That I will defeat this guy and be superior. So all the time we remain disturbed. So he says, Gunadikar mudam lipset. Kincha gunadikar gunadikam prapeti levlope panchmi mudam labdum ichet. Natu asuyam. So someone is superior, then don't become envious of that person, but feel happy by seeing that person, that someone has done better than you. And someone is inferior, then anukrosham kripam nato avagyam. Then show your compassion to them, not insult. Don't insult. Usual tendency is to be proud and try to insult directly or indirectly. Because you want to show off yourself as superior than others is also a form of insult. You make them feel inferior. That's what insult means. To make someone feel inferior and yourself as superior. That's what Daksha was doing in that assembly. When he was speaking and showing how Shiva is inferior than him. So that was his pride. And how I am better, I come from a good dynasty, I am well behaved, he is not well behaved. So to criticize and insult others, that says is not good. And if somebody is equal, then don't try to compete. Yadi swabhavan स्वस्वभाव दोषान न लभे तदपि लब्धुम कामे तो अपि इति अपि अभिप्राय. So स्वस्वभाव दोषान न लभे तदपि लब्धुम कामे तो अपि. So he says that if one has not attained such position because of one's own defect, then one should try to have this type of behavior. If one is already like this, well and good. But if one is not, then one should behave. So this is the instruction which was given by Narada. Now Dhruva, he speaks. Dhruva Vacha. Soyam samo bhagavata sukha dukkha hatatmanam Darshita kripya punsham durdarsho smad vidhaistuyah. So Dhruva, he very gently declined to take his advice. If some senior person is giving an advice which is not appealing to you, then you can also decline, but respectfully. So he says that Soyam Samo Bhagavata Sukha Dukkha Hatatmanam Darshita Kripya Puncham. That, and this is a very polite way of saying in Sanskrit. He's not saying that this instruction or this path which you are showing me, he's not saying you, he's saying the Lord who is showing me this path. We refer in the third case out of great respect and gentleness. He says that this Sukha Dukha Hat Atmanam Darshita, that this path of peace which has been shown by the Honorable Narada. This for those people who are suffering happiness and distress, material happiness and material distress. He says that this is very difficult to follow for people like us. Durdarsho asmad vidhasti. So what he is saying is that your instruction is very, very nice, but actually I am not qualified for this instruction. I don't have this ability that I can behave the way you are asking me to behave. It's not possible. I am too fallen for this. And this is how he declined. Tvaya yadyapi anadhikarane mahim kripya idam upsamamritam dattam nathapi kshatram svabhavam praptavato mama hridi bhinne vidirnam vedabhajaniva nashrayate natishtate. Swathapi me avinitasya kshatram ghoramupayisha suruchya durvachor bhane nash bhinne shrayate. He says, your instruction is very nice, I don't find any fault or defect in your instruction, but I am very insolent. I am not humble because I am a Kshatriya. I have this terrible nature of a Kshatriya, and my heart is completely torn apart by the sharp words of Suruchi, and therefore this instruction cannot stay there. So I cannot hold your instruction. Therefore, I beg your pardon not to follow it. So therefore, I am not adhikari for this. I am not eligible to follow this. Nathapi kshatram svabhavam praptvato mam hridi bhinne vidim. It says my heart is like a broken mud pot. And I was saying that if there is a crack, you pour something in it, it will not stay. So he is saying the same thing. That my heart is cracked because of the sharp, insulting words of Suruchi. And therefore I cannot hold this instruction. He can only hold something which will fulfill his aim. And his aim is that he wants a position higher than his father. So for this he is very determined. As Sri Goswami says, Utsaha Nishwadhyaya. So he is very much enthusiastic about it, and nothing can change him. And Nishya, very determined and firm in his decision, and he is ready to do anything for this. But anything else like this, that you become equanimous in your mind and behave without envy, and you will become free from this. Say, I cannot take to this. This I am Kshatriya. And being Kshatriya, I have this determination to take revenge. Somebody insults me, I cannot eat up that. So he's being very straightforward. It is also good quality, that not that Narada is saying and he does not like, but yet he says, well, he is a great sage, how can I say no to him? So he is being very straightforward, very humble and straight. So if I cannot do it, or I cannot follow your instruction, I will say it's not possible for me. So therefore he says that my heart is like a cracked pot, and your instructions, they don't hold them. Yastutya shaurya hinam durbalan brahmanan eva tad upsamamritam paya. Indirectly what he is saying is that this type of instruction you should give to people who have no valor, no chivalry, like these weak brahmanas. They are the one who have to follow this path of peace. So this path of peace is not for a Kshatriya. Kshatriya does not have to follow this path. Many times people say, why Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight? Why not follow the path given by Gandhi? So Arjuna is not a follower of Gandhi. He is a Kshatriya, he cannot be. It's not possible for him. So, same with Dhruva. That path is for the Brahmanas. They are supposed to be samdam tapastitiksha. This is the quality of a Brahmana, control of mind, control of senses. Kshatriya, his job is to control others. If somebody is doing something wrong, and it's not that you go and fold hands, please don't do like this. You give him a slap, don't do this. You do it again, I will give you a stick. That is a Kshatriya. That's why he is called Kshatriya. Otherwise he should become Brahmana. That's what Duryodhana was telling Yudhishthira when the battlefield was going on. Once Yudhishthira came in front of Duryodhana while fighting. So Duryodhana started laughing. He says, you want to fight with me? You are a Brahmana. He says, go away. He was trying to insult him. Because Yudhishthira was very tolerant like a Brahmana. So Kshatriyas are like Bhima. He is a real Kshatriya. You never see Bhima getting depressed. He is ready with his club. So that is a Kshatriya spirit. And Yudhishthira is more Brahmanical. So Dhruva, he says that, and that's why he says that this Kshatriya nature is very terrible. Because they have to fight even with their own relatives. This is their dharma. That's what Arjuna was saying. And this being Kshatriya is very terrible. I have to fight with my own guru, with my own grandfather. Brahmana will not. So people now don't understand what Kshatriya meant or what a Brahmana meant. So therefore they are in this confusion and try to criticize. So he said your instruction is for weak people. Because this policy of not fighting, remaining peaceful even when the other person is attacking you, is for a weak person. If you are strong, why should you not defend? What is the reason? What is this non-violence? Somebody is trying to cut your throat and you say, I am non-violent.
Yeah.
This is for sannyasis. Those who have renounced and who have taken the vow of giving fearlessness to everybody. It is for them. It is for people like Buddha. Not for people like Krishna. You will take a chakra and cut off the head immediately. Not mess around with him. He's not taking sannyas. So there are different, this is what modern mind does not understand, that there are different duties for different class of people. Now because we think everyone is equal and there is one law for everybody. But it is not. At least in India it was never like that, and it should be. Because everybody is not equal. There are people who have different calibers, and obviously their behavior will be different, their nature will be different. So why they have to be treated like someone else? And why they should do a job or take responsibility which is not suitable for them. So Brahmana's duties are different, their behavior is different, Kshatriya's duties are different. If army people become non-violent, then why be in the army? Kshatriya being non-violent means you are saying that army should not shoot. Then why are they in the army? They should walk with folded hands to the enemy's camp. And we'll be very happy to shoot them. So Mahatma Gandhi, he followed this policy of non-violence because what else could he do? He has to fight with Britishers who had the army, who were the rulers. Mahatma Gandhi had no power to fight with them. So best for him was follow non-violence. So this was a good strategy for him. So therefore he says that I am a Kshatriya, Kshatram Ghoram Upayisha. I have attained this terrible nature of a Kshatriya, and therefore I am not humble enough to follow what you are saying. In other words, I am saying that this is for those people who are not strong. So he said that this nectar of peace you give to the Brahmanas, they can drink it. Mavatu Mahaghora Sauryavatah Kshatriya Kumarasya Natra Drishtir Patati. Says, I am a person who is chivalrous and have terrible nature. I am a Kshatriya Kumar. He says, I cannot even look at it, what you are saying. It says, Natra Drishtir Api Patati. Means, my mind is not even least attracted to what you are saying. It's not appealing to me in the least. That's what he is saying. Drishtirapi napavati means absolutely unpalatable to my nature. That I become what you are saying, that be friendly, equal, and be this and be that. Just forget it. Padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu vartmame bruhi asmat pitribhi brahman nannerapi anadhistitam. So he is saying directly, he says, O holy person, my desire is to win over the three worlds. Jigisho tribhuvan utkrishtam sadhu vartmame bruhi. So you show me that path, that I get a position, asmat pitribhir brahman, that position which has not been attained by my father, grandfather, anybody in my dynasty. That's what I want. So this is what a Kshatriya is. They are competitive. That's why in India the Kshatriyas were also fighting all the time. This was one of the stupidity. They were always fighting with each other. And when the foreigners came, they were very weak. They could not unite with each other. So they had this nature of, because the most prominent quality of a Kshatriya is his pride. Very egoistic. They cannot swallow the pride. Any insult done to them, then they are ready to kill. This is their problem. So that's why they need the counseling of a Brahmana to guide them. Otherwise they keep on doing this. Abduct somebody's daughter, fight here, take this property. So this is their nature. So pride is a very big problem. If you read the statements of Bhima in Mahabharata, then he is Kshatriya speaking, or Karna. They are speaking all the time. So you read what they speak when they are fighting. So he says, Tarhi tvam kim ichchasi ityaha padamiti. So then Narada says, then what do you want if you cannot follow what I am saying? So he says, so I want a position which is superior then these three worlds, that is what I want to conquer, which has not been attained by anybody. Yo mam avamanyate sma tena suruche patya uttan padena tatpitra brahmana api annairapi brahmana putra patradi anabhistitam apraptam padam jigiso swachikirsho workman. So he says that I want position which is not attained by the husband of Suruchi. It's not saying my father, it says forget about that position which is not attained by the husband of Suruchi or his father or even Brahma or by anyone else, any progeny of Brahma. That position I want. Anidhishtitam apraptam padam jigisho swachikesho. So you give me the path which I follow and attain this position. This is my desire. Tvam tavat vartma matram updesan achirenaiva tadvijaya kinchan swaryam pasya. And you just show me the path and then you will see how I will conquer this. He says that you leave to me. So you show me the path and this is where you have to go and attack, then I will go there and I will attack and I will conquer that person. Then you will know what kind of a Kshatriya I am. So he's really fired up. So Kshatriyas are like that. Mahabharata, so many stories that they don't feel let down in any situation. When it comes to fighting, they are ready for it. So this is in their blood. They have special genes for this, special type of blood. Nunam bhavan bhagavato yangaja parmeshtinah vitudan natate vinam hitartham jagator kavat. He says that you are just like the sun who wanders the whole universe for the benefit of the humanity while playing on the veena, and you are directly the son of Brahma, who is the supreme person in this universe. So he understands who is Narada. He is not in ignorance. And Narada is, of course, a liberated person, a great devotee of the Lord. And therefore he is compared to like sun. So just like sun does welfare to the universe, like that Narada, being a liberated person, a devotee, does welfare to everybody. Because he has no demands for himself. One who is free oneself can help others. So he is always having his veena, his musical instrument, string instrument, and he is always singing Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and traveling from one place to another place, helping people on the path of bhakti. Mamayam tu manoratha setse iti va grihan niskramyateva bhavad darshanameva lingama. So if someone says to Dhruva, how are you so sure that you will be successful in your mission? So he says that I will definitely be successful because there is a very good omen that as soon as I have come out of my house, I have got darshan of Narada. So this indicates that I will definitely be successful in my goal. It's a good omen, that's why he says this. Ankad utsangad vibhute lokitaya bhagavad avtara. So there's two different reading here, Ankaja and Angaja. Narada is also born from Lord Brahma's lap. So in that case he will be called Ankaja. Anka means lap. Or he is called Angaja, means son. So Ankat Utsangat Avirbhuto Lokutaya Bhagavad Avatara Eva Tumne Kashyapi Putra. So Narada is manifest from his lap, and he is an avatara of the Lord, and therefore he is not anyone's son, but Lord himself manifest in the form of his devotee to guide the humanity. And Angaja iti pathe bhavan paramatma Angajopi yadvinam viprapam. And if the reading is Angaja, then means you are the son of Brahma. And then you are singing the songs, doing kirtan. So Narada is the first kirtan leader in this world. And now he is doing kirtan. Kirtaniya sadahari. Maitreya Uvacha. Then Maitreya said, Idi udahritam akarne Bhagavan Naradastada Pita pratyahatam balam Sadavakyam manukampaya. Maitreya said that after hearing these words, Narada, the very powerful, great devotee of the Lord, he was very happy. He was very pleased, because it's very difficult to get a good student. So he understood that Dhruva is very firm in his decision, and he deserves to be given the proper instruction. So being very pleased with him, he became very compassionate and spoke to him as follows. Narada Vacha, Narada said, Jananyavitah panthaha savai nisrayasasyate Bhagavan Vasudevastam bhaja tat pravanatmana. So now he is confirming the instruction given by the mother of Dhruva Maharaj. He says that Jananya Avita Pantha Savin Sreyasasyate. This path which is instructed by your mother, this is the path of ultimate welfare. And these others are all right, balance mind. But the real essence is to be devoted to the Lord, and instructed by Srimad. So he says this indeed is the path to be followed. And says Bhagavan Vasudevastam Bhaja Tat Pravanatma. Says that Lord Krishna, he is the Bhagavan, he is the Supreme Person, and therefore you worship him with one-pointed mind. Ekagra chittena bhaja. Although the instruction was already given to him, but now it is being confirmed by the teacher. Narada is his teacher, and he is confirming the path of devotion. These others are path of jnana, etc. So dharmartha kama mokshakhyam yaichet shreyatmanaha ekameva haristatra karanam padasevanam. He said whatever a person desires, whether one wants to go to heaven, or one wants material benefit, or one wants material objects or position or liberation, there is only one process for that, and that process is service to the feet of Krishna. Hares tatra karanam padaseva. Says that from that you can attain everything, because he is the source of everything, he is the cause of everything, so everything can be attained by that. There are other paths which can give you one particular thing. And there are other deities who can fulfill your some particular desire. But Lord Krishna is the person from whom you can get anything, whatever you want. So therefore he said that you just fix your mind. So that is the meaning of Pravanatmana, to be one-pointed. So this knowledge is necessary. When people don't have this knowledge, then they try to do other things. Many times you see even devotees, although they are initiated in Krishna mantra, they are devotee of Krishna, but then they worship this deity, that deity, my health, my this, my that. So they take to something else, if someone else is more powerful. So this is also an insult to Krishna. It's like you have the most powerful father. Your father is the prime minister or president of the country, and then you go to some secretary to beg for something. And if your father cannot arrange that. So being one means having this firm faith. So I have no doubt, as Krishna says, Sav Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So this is the meaning of Ekam Sharanam Vraja. It's taking complete shelter. We may perform our duties, like Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaisya, but we have to know that it is not that because I am doing this duty then I am going to get piety or anything. No, my surrender is only to God. So it does not mean that I don't perform my duties. So Sarv Dharman Parityaja does not mean that you give up everything, but you give up the shelter of everything. Shelter is only of God. You are dependent on you, and that is the meaning of Saranagati. So for this reason, he is explaining that he is the Tatra Karanam Padasayana. So what do we have to do then? He says, Tattat Gacha Bhadram Te Yamnayas Tatam Suchi Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra Sanidhyam Nityadahare. He says, therefore, my dear boy, you go to the bank of Yamuna, which is very pure. At least at that time it was very pure, now it is not. So you need to clean it. And go to Madhuvan. So Madhuvan is this area, Mathura area is Madhuvan. This is where Dhruva came. And his ostratus. There is Dhruva Tila in Mathura, where he was performing this austerity. So this word Mathura is also called Madhupuri. Madhuvan. Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra Sanidhyam Nityadahare. And Lord Krishna ever resides here. So he is ever present in Vrindavan and Mathura, although we may not see physically with our eyes, but he is here personally. This is his place. And if one is qualified, then one can still see him here. So Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra Sanidhyam Nityadahare. This is a very pious, holy place. So place also helps in your activity. So if you want to do business, then there are suitable places for that. If you want to be in film industry, then go to Bollywood. Right? Or if you want to be in some particular business, then you have to see the suitable place for that. So Vrindavan is a place of bhakti. Although now so many types of people are coming here who have nothing to do with bhakti, and they have actually defiled this place. All the time you hear this noise of these mics, this craziness. So nothing to do with bhakti. So these are people who don't understand anything about devotion, they have come here. They are very unfortunate. Otherwise, this is a place where devotees only used to come and live. And there are beautiful ashrams here, even up to 30-40 years ago. And the whole atmosphere was very serene and devotional. There was no other talk here except devotion to Krishna. There were temples and devotees, no business, nothing else. But now things have changed and now you see all these flats coming all around. The stories. So this place has been famous for bhakti. Like Banaras is the place for Gyan. One wants to attain perfection in Gyan Marg, then go to Banaras. And Haridwar is the place for yoga. And Vrindavan is the place for bhakti. So therefore Narada, he instructed him that you go there, tat gaccha bhadram te yamunayas tatam suchi. So bank of Yamuna, because Yamuna is devotional. And the bank of Yamuna, very pure, because here everything is related with Lord Krishna, his activities, it reminds, Yamuna reminds of Krishna, Govardhan reminds of Krishna, all the trees, plants, everything here is in relationship with Krishna. And therefore it says Yatra Sanidhyam Nityada, where there is proximity of Hari Krishna and Nityada, always. Vrindavanam Paritajya Padamekam Gacchati. He does not go out of Vrindavan, Krishna. So this is the best place to execute devotion. Rupa Goswami, while describing 64 limbs of sadhana bhakti, he also includes residence in Vrindavan. And then he says that if one cannot live physically in Vrindavan, then one should live in the mind. Wherever one lives, consider that is Vrindavan, it is part of Vrindavan. So it is very important to be in Vrindavan if one is serious about bhakti. And for that reason he has sent, or Narada is instructing him to go to Vrindavan. So Sri Vishwanath says that Tav Jananya Yad Abhihitam Tadeva Mad Abhihitam. He says what your mother has said, I am also saying that. Imamcha Vishesham Upasam, but I am just giving something more specific now. So Narada is giving specific instruction. His mother gave general instruction that you worship Lord Krishna, but how to worship, where to worship, this he did not say. So Narada is instructing, and he will also give him the mantra later on, which he should chant. So basically he is going to give him Diksha, and also the place where he has to do the worship. So very specific process is given. Madhuvanam iti sarvesu siddha kshetresu tasya mukhyatvat. So why Madhuvan? Because of all the siddha kshetras. In India there are many places which are called perfected holy places, where perfected people live, where people have attained perfection, and the place is for perfected people. So Vrindavan is Siddha Kshetra, and Banaras is also Siddha Kshetra. Kasi, Aritika, Haridwar, Ujjain, Ayodhya, Dwarka, these are Siddha Kshetras. But out of them, Vrindavan This Madhavan is the supreme place. So he will for instruction to go there. So I'll stop here. Then he will give him more instruction how he has to meditate. He will give a whole process of meditation and the mantra of meditation. It's very nice instruction. So tomorrow there is no class, I have to go out.
Now the moon is a manifestation of the Lord in the form of teacher.
Yes.
So then I learned that Bhagavatam is written that he left his body like a lightning. This is how the devotee are leaving the body, just a flash of light. But then he went back to I think to Mahavishnu, and then he came again.
He got his transcendental body. He gave up his material body and then he got his Siddha Deha, his transcendental body.
So he came with his...
So he has a transcendental body now,
Okay.
spiritual body.
And he makes it perceptible
Yes.
to the people.
Another morning there's to vote also 15 minutes, it's only material commerce.
He's very busy.
So many jobs have not rest and spiritual.
He has no time to study.
What makes one qualified for the path of bhakti? What qualifications does one have to follow that?
Qualification is Shraddha, faith, basic qualification. Ado Shraddha, Ado Sādu Samyata, begins with Shraddha.
Now I'm at home with small, many collective farms. But sometimes he's not on the temple person,
Yes.
But in spiritual sky it's very big farm.